All right. I think we're live. I think we're good, y'all. Hey, happy Friday. Hope y'all are doing okay. Hey, Candy. Hey, guys. Hey, everybody. Hey, Miss Jenny. All right. So it's Friday, so it's reading time, okay? Okay, so what are we doing? Because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so for those of you who are new to my lives, you can basically ask me your questions and I will try to answer as many of you as I can. So you can go ahead and post your questions in the comment section below. If you're on YouTube and on Facebook, go ahead and post your questions in the comment section below. Sometimes on Facebook, there will be trolls, or will be people who just start commenting or like messaging you, asking you to message them or letting you know or telling you like I feel drawn to you or I can give you an accurate reading. Those are trolls, y'all. Those are like con artists. Those are people who are those are scammers. That's what we know, scammers. They're trying to scam people. So I wouldn't even respond. I would just like block them or report them as spammers and block them. I wouldn't even respond. If you take the risk and you respond, it's not a real person who's going to do a reading for you, a real psychic who's going to do a reading for you. They're just going to take your money and then they're going to jet. So don't do it. It's a waste of time. If you are on Instagram, every now and then people like to create profiles and make it look exactly like mine, but something will be off. Either the name will be slightly off, or if you look at like the post, like the bio, the page's bio, it'll have all like DM me for a reading or whatever like that. I do not do readings via DM, via text, or anything like that. Either it's a live and it's free here today on the set days, or it's through my website, fernandomarone.com. I don't do direct messaging people or asking people to send me money or anything like that. Those are scammers, again. So just so y'all know, if y'all encounter that in the future, and we try to let people know, I even changed my bio so that y'all can like be reminded of that. But I just want to give y'all a heads up in case some of you are new and y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. So you can put your questions in the comment section below. If you want to ask me about your life, be specific. What are you asking me? If you're wanting to know something about your job or your career, what specifically are you wanting to know? If you're wanting to know about love or a relationship, what specifically are you wanting to know? If you're wanting to know about your health, what specifically are you wanting to know? If you're wanting to know about your financial situation, what specifically are you wanting to know? So be specific with your questions, guys, because it helps me to understand what you're asking me. Because when people ask me, do I have a message for them, or what do I see, or when will things get better? I have no idea what you're asking me about. I literally can't, my brain can't go in like 1,000 different directions. So it's like walking into McDonald's and saying, I'm hungry. They're like, okay, well, what you want? There's a menu, like what you want. They're going to ask you what specifically are you wanting to eat. So you got to be specific. I don't know everything. My brain cannot process that much data or information. So I have to just fixate and focus and then try to make as much sense of it as possible. So that's with that. If you want to connect with the loved one in spirit, who specifically are you trying to connect with? And I will try to connect to that person and bring through any information that can hopefully help you to know that they are with you and to validate for you that we still exist even after this physical state. Okay. Let's see what else. If you want to know about me, what do I do? My history, my background, see when I've gotten stuff right, when I've gotten stuff wrong, because I'm pretty honest about my prediction history. You can check it out on my website. I got everything on there. The free courses are on there. The free podcasts, the free articles are on there. All that stuff is on there. So, and then we also do a study group twice a week right after these lives where we read spiritual based books or books that have something to teach us on a spiritual level. I read and we do commentary, and I do that every single week after the live as well. So just so y'all know, in case y'all want to participate in that also. If y'all can just do me a favor, if y'all can give me a thumbs up, and if y'all can get, or hearts if you're on Instagram, and if you can just shoot this video out to people that you think might appreciate or want a reading, or people who just need to hear what I have to say, shoot it out to them, just because I'm trying to reach an audience and group of people who might benefit from the work that I do. So just FYI with that. Let's see what else. I try to pick new people every single time I do this. So please be patient with me, because I won't be able to give everybody a reading, but I will try to give people a reading, and I try to give as many new people a reading as I can, just because I know there's new people showing up every week, etc. So I try to do text or comment version, not text, but comment version readings first, where I'll just go through, look at the comments, and then I'll pick some questions out to answer. And then halfway through, we'll go ahead and jump over to video, and then we'll start video. If you want to be on video with me, you can be on video, but you have to get over to Instagram, because that's the only place that I'm doing video at. And so if you're on Instagram, right at the bottom here, there's a little like square with a plus in it. It's a little camera. If you click that, you can request to be a video guest. And you're basically letting me know that you're interested in coming on this video. And so you can request it through that, and then I will go through and I will just pick someone randomly, and then I'll just give you some information. Okay. FYI, my statements are personal opinions, not guarantee future events. So whatever decisions or actions you take in your life, you are of course 100% responsible and liable for those. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. I know a lot of people worry about that, but you really can change things if you want to. And lastly, I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm only here to tell you what I sense and what I feel. You still should seek the guidance of a licensed medical practitioner or a legal professional or a law enforcement official if you need that kind of help. I'm not a doctor. I can't diagnose or tell you exactly what is happening. You're still going to have to follow it up with the doctor. I can just tell you what I feel if there's something health-wise that you're asking me about, et cetera, okay? I think that's it. I think that's all I need to say. So, all right, let's get started. So I'm going to jump around here. I'm not going in any particular order. By the way, guys, when it comes to loved ones in spirit, as much as I would love to ask them in spirit what we should do or what y'all should do, they rarely ever tell us what to do. It happens rarely. Sometimes it can happen, but it's usually because they have permission or they're allowed to. Most of our loved ones in spirit are not really allowed to interfere or to tell us what to do because they're not here anymore. Their life and experience here in this physical form is done. They're in the spirit form. They're in retirement. So not only that, but we have to make choices. We don't get to just ask our loved ones in spirit what we should do because it's not their place to tell us what to do. Just like it's not my place to tell you what to do. You got to make the decisions. You got to live with the consequences of those decisions. That's just the way reality works. So if you ask me about loved ones and what they want for you and what they feel about a relationship, etc., they may send congratulatory statements and they can say this and they can say that, but they're not going to tell you what to do. And they're not going to tell, like, here's an example, Holly, and I'll use Holly as an, hey, Ferny, hey there, Fernando, does SR's mom have any messages for him? And does she approve of our connection relationship? What does she see for us? Thanks. And so what does she see for y'all? She's not going to respond to that. As what does she think of our relationship? She's probably not going to respond to that either. She might congratulate if there's something coming up, but usually they stay out of that because they're not allowed to. I used to have a client who would try to come to me to ask her husband what to do with this property or what to do with this or what to do with that. I'm like, girl, you're here. You have to make those decisions. His job is done. He's done. So you have to make those choices, and I won't ask him that because it's not his place to say that, and he's not going to tell me anyway. So just so you know. But Holly, to answer your question about SR's mom have messages for him, she is acknowledging, thank you. She's showing me an image, and I feel like I'm seeing an image where there's 3 hearts together. So there's 3 hearts either next to each other that say mom across it, or there's something about 3 hearts and mom, because she's showing me something like that. She's also acknowledging the 16th of a month as being significant. She also keeps acknowledging a female D. So either she's the female D or she's with the female D, because she's acknowledging. And the D, when I say D, I mean like something like Debbie or Deborah or Dina or not Dina, Debbie or Deborah or Denise. It's got like a D name, but there's a D she's making reference to or acknowledging. She also keeps acknowledging a white print. It almost feels like it's a piece of art or a picture where it's almost like one wing or one feather on a print. It's not actually like I'm thinking of birds, but I'm thinking of like this feather thing. So there's something that's like a print or an image that makes reference or that is acknowledging to her as well. She's also showing me angels, so there might be an angel sign to her also. Okay. Steph, hey Ferny, you saw me in a serious relationship by the end of this year. Have I met this person yet? I don't know if you've already met the person. I can never really tell if someone's already met somebody. I just assume sometimes just based on the pieces about that person that match up to what I saw. I don't know if you've already met the person yet, but I would say that I definitely don't think we're at the end of the year yet. So I would say it's possible you haven't met this person, but I'm going to put this person within like the October, November time frame. So I'm going to put them in that time frame. So I would say still keep your eyes open. I'm not saying the person that if there's anyone in the picture right now that you're interested in, that's not it. I don't know. I'm only seeing like more like October, November energy, and I feel like there's more intention or more intensity there. So that's why I'm latched onto that time frame. But I wouldn't count right now as like the end of the year, so I don't think we're there yet. Yeah, Monica Guidon. My brother's 1 year anniversary of his passing was yesterday. Does he have any messages for us? Thanks. Yeah, one thing that he's showing me, he's got, I don't know if this is like a reddish colored sweater or a reddish colored like banner, but he's doing this, like he's waving this reddish colored thing. He's like doing this, so there's a reference to that. He also keeps it, thank you. He also keeps acknowledging, I wonder if he was really picky about his stuff, because it's almost like it reminds me of like some of the guys, sometimes they don't want anybody touching their stuff, or they're really picky about their things. He's acknowledging something like this, and there might even be like a ring or a piece of jewelry that might be significant or referencing this like being picky. But it feels like it's themed. In other words, sometimes people get themed rings that have a significance. For example, like whenever when someone gets their college ring, like that's one. Or like if like a sports ring, that's another. There's like a themed ring that he's making reference to or acknowledging. So there's an acknowledgement there. He's also holding a baby, so there might be a baby that's either been born since his passing, or he's acknowledging the baby with him that was miscarried, lost, or terminated. But he's making reference to that as well. Okay. Yeah, Vionet. Hi, friend. Been going through it lately, going through a breakup. What do you see? See if I'm gonna move forward. Thanks. Yeah, you move forward. You're gonna have to wait a little bit. Here's the thing. I think sometimes you have a very intense energy, and I don't think everybody that you get involved with is prepared for that, because I think sometimes they aren't. It's just either it's a different cultural thing, or it's just they're not prepared for it. And so you might have to be a little careful in the beginning of any relationship or dating situation, so that you don't overwhelm the person, just because you have a lot to share. And I think that sometimes it can seem overwhelming to someone who isn't aware or who just doesn't know you. So I'd say you may just need to be a little more cautious about how much you're sharing right up front. What I always tell people is wait 3 months. Any relationship, wait 3 months. Once you get to the 3-month mark, then there's a higher likelihood that it might work. But usually it takes like at least 3 months to just figure out if there's enough there for it to go on. And most relationships that are not going to last, like break up within the first 3 or 4 months or so. But for you, I'd say as far as like moving on and so forth, I do think that you'll get into another relationship. But this may, and this, by the way, the breakup one, this might have been either this was a back and forth one where you were going back and forth and breaking up, or it's maybe possibly not done over with yet. So there may still be a back and forth with this, but I don't feel longevity with this. So I'm not thinking this is going to go very far. But when I think of next year or around September of next year, I do see you in another relationship. So I'm thinking this is next year, September 2022. It feels like a relationship or connection with someone that you would have a familiarity to. So it would be like either like someone that would be like a coworker or a neighbor or a friend. And it feels like there's some connection there next year that feels familiar. So just keep your eye out, because it feels like someone that you may know at that time, have already known at that time, may suddenly become an interest or an option for you. Okay. GD, hi Ferny, how do you see my financial situation in the next 6 months, or do you connect with my loved ones that have passed? So that would be a full reading for us to do like a life analysis for the next 6 months. But I will tell you this, as far as like any major changes financially for you, I kind of feel like the next 4 months may stay relatively the same. And then at the end of a 4-month period, you have to make some decisions. I feel like the decision that you have to make is either going to cause you to have more money or to lose some money because of extra costs or expenses. That may come down to your living expenses or your living situation. So something may come up in about 4 months that has to do with some changes or expenses with your living situation. If you decide to go forward as if nothing is going to change, then you might lose more money, or you may feel a dip after that. And that may freak you out a little bit, or you may start to stress out a little bit more. But if you decide not to spend money or just to hold back on any excess spending, I would say you're fine and you're okay. And then whatever you wanted to do, you could just do it next year. But I feel like you may need to hold back. So budget yourself a little bit more in about 4 or 5 months, because I don't want you to find yourself in a bit of a crunch financially. Tiffany Cardenas. Hey, Ferny, I just recently started a job and was wondering if you see me staying there or do you see me leaving for another position? Thank you. I feel you could stay there. You could stay there until the end of the year, and then things may change there where either your position may no longer exist or it may just seem like you're not going to need to be there anymore, because I don't think you'll be there anymore. So I'm thinking you'll be there till the end of the year. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay. And then you'll go with another job opportunity. Leanne Bradbury. Hello. From London, my 14-year-old son has this crazy girl who is bad news for him. Will she be trouble for him? I feel like she's a little bit unstable mentally. And I know you say crazy, and that could be all kinds of crazy. And just being stupid is crazy in some instances. But I actually think that there might be some it's a little obsessive, actually. It almost reminds me of someone who's suffering from rejection syndrome, like when they feel rejected in their life. But it's not just with this girl and him. It feels like this is from males in her life. I think that she is just going to be persistent for a couple months. So she might persist for a couple months, and then I think something else will drag her attention away and she'll be off and about with somebody else. So I don't think she'll be major problem for him, but you may need to set those boundaries and maybe reach out to the family. But I think that in a couple of months, she's not an issue, because I feel like her attention will go somewhere else or with somebody else. Guys, when you say, do I have any messages? It's too broad. We can sit here all day trying to figure this out. I need y'all to, if you want to speak to someone specific, just tell me who you want to talk to, and then I'll try to get something from them. If we were going to do video, then I would say, okay, maybe that's more likely, but it takes too much time to figure out who's coming through whenever there isn't an intention to connect with a specific person. Lisa, hi Ferny. I want to know if we will get out of our financial situation. Will my husband get a job, and will my part-time real estate work out? I am a full-time teacher. I feel like things might still be a bit rocky for about 3.5 months. So we're already midway through August, September, October. I want to say in November things start to improve or get a little bit better. Not a whole drastic amount, but just enough to feel a little relief. I also think that job-wise, I think it's going to take time for him to get that job. There might be an option that comes up or an opportunity that comes up through a neighbor or through someone like a neighbor for him in the next 2 months. If he doesn't stick with that or decide to go with that, he might have to wait until January before something else comes up that might be better. I'm thinking he will, though. I think he will take advantage of the opportunity, and then do that. And it feels like a short term, so it's like contract or just like a job. And then he'll wait, and then that'll be done. And then January, I think he gets another job. That one seems to alleviate a lot more. So I would say that by January, things seem to look up. Real estate, I feel might be, you might be shooting blanks with that one, meaning that you might not get the kind of growth or advancing with that as you may hope for. Part of that may be for two reasons. One is you're going to need to devote a lot more time and be more aggressive, because you have to be aggressive if you're a realtor. And secondly, so you might not have the time to be able to do that. And then I also think there's a slump in the market coming. And so that may cause that to wobble a bit, and you may just not see the value in that. Okay? Jocelyn Cartner. Hi, Ferny. I've been having a lot of health problems lately. I know you're not a doctor, but I believe it might be something serious. Do you get that vibe? I don't feel it's something I don't feel life-threatening. I just feel like this is messing with your blood, and I also feel this is messing with your what is that? So the way I want to describe this the first thing I think of when I think back to this, I had a client a while back where he had been bitten by a tick and then started to develop symptoms that were similar to Lyme's disease. And so I was like trying to figure, so I was seeing that right now, and I was trying to figure out, okay, is this what I'm seeing, or is this just, there's a mimicking effect on the system? Here's what I will say. I think you need to go get some blood work done or blood drawn. I also think that you need to look into the symptoms of Lyme disease and see if your symptoms are matching up to this. Not because that's what you have, but because there may be similarities, and that could clue in whoever's doing diagnostics on your system to figure out what this is. I feel like this is definitely affecting the blood. I also feel like there's something that seems to be building up in your blood system or in your blood chemistry that's too much of it. It's almost like there's too much of it. Like whenever someone has too much iron or someone has too much of something, it's almost like there's something building up in the system. So you may need to get your liver and your kidneys checked, just because there might be some things going on with that as well. But I think that you need to look into and see if your symptoms are matching up to some similarities there. Again, I don't know if this is Lyme's disease or if this is just a mimicking condition, but you need to follow that up with a doctor and get some blood work done. Duck, he's like, hi, Ferny, you got a haircut. It looks great. Thank you. Yeah, I just cut my hair. I was like, it was time. I try to, like, I don't like to get, like, haircuts are so, like, they're such a pain in the ass, right? I wish my hair could stay the same length forever, because I actually like it longer, but whenever I cut it short, it just takes longer to grow back, so I can enjoy not having to cut it. And so that's why I cut it short, and then I let it kind of grow in. So I go through these phases, right? Brandy. Hi, Brandy. Do you see me moving out of the state? Do you know where or about when is this a good move? I don't see you moving out of the state right now. I think you might move. There's two moves. There's a temporary or first move, and then there's a second move. The first move just feels like it's moving from where you currently live at. So it feels like it's moving from the place or the space, but you're still moving into another place or space that feels temporary. So it doesn't feel like it's a permanent move. That move still feels like it's in the same region or territory. So it doesn't feel like you're moving to a different, like, state. It feels like you're still in the same region. It stays that way for like 6 or 7 months. And then there's another move. The second move, that is more likely to be to a completely different state. I keep seeing the southeastern US. So I want to go like DC down, but not as far down as like Florida. So I want to say maybe it's like around there. I feel like it's around there. It's not close enough to the coast where you're next to the ocean, but it's pretty close. But it's around there. I feel like there's a move there. And that may have more to do with an opportunity that somebody else has that may be connected to that area, and then you either tag along or you get an opportunity to be a part of that. Okay? Let's go over here. Oh, actually, Kimberly Williams. Kimberly Williams. I'm sorry, Kimmery, sorry, Kimmery. I'm like trying to spell it out, but I'm getting that L in there. Hi, Freddie. Any messages from my aunt? Yeah. She's showing me stars. So there might be something decorative that either is connected to her with stars, as far as like stars, or there's something about the stars in the sky and her. But there's a reference there, because I almost feel like I'm seeing something celestial, but it has a tie to her, and it almost feels like I'm seeing it engraved. So there's a reference there. She's also doing this, so there might be like a bracelet or a charm bracelet that might be connected to her. The 23rd might be significant. So the 23rd, I was gonna say 22nd, but I'm gonna say 23rd. The 23rd of a month may be significant, or the 23rd or February the 3rd might be significant. So there might be a reference to that date as well. Okay. She just said like Hawaii or Honolulu, which is interesting because I'm supposed to go to Hawaii later this year, or in another month or month and a half, which I'm not thinking that's going to end up happening, but because of everything that's going on. But she was just mentioning Hawaii or Honolulu for some reason. So I'm not sure if that's connected to her and a trip that she took, or if y'all just went and referencing the island. Let's go here. Action Jackson 012. Ferdy, do you see me and my brothers becoming famous? We were told by a man that one day we will be famous. I wouldn't say famous. I don't see fame for y'all. What I'm seeing is just doing something that is well known of, but it's the work itself or the thing itself, not necessarily like y'all as y'all people as far as being famous. What I mean by that is like if someone created, like for example, if someone created like a gaming app or a game, like it almost feels like it has to do with tech and has to do with either an app or a game or something that's used online in some way. But it's almost like it feels kind of connected to network, but like a network of some sort, but it's not like a traditional computer thing. It's more like if someone, here's an example, like, so you know how some of these games became really popular like on Facebook, and so you had like the game that was for like the little Candy Crush or whatever. Like that's a well-known game that was popular for a while, but it's not the maker that was popular, it was the game that was popular. So I see y'all doing something that feels like it becomes popular, or it gets around and develops a following, but it's almost like a thing like that. It doesn't feel like it's y'all as people. Although one of y'all may try to go into music and get involved with the music industry, or people that are involved with the music industry, but it doesn't feel like they're famous. It just feels like they could connect with that in that way. So there's two ways that y'all could get known or be connected to people who are known, but I don't see fame necessarily for y'all specifically. Brandy Sunshine, any messages from my sister Fran? Yeah, so one thing that she's acknowledging, she's showing me, like, I don't know if this is a blanket or this is just fabric stitched together, but she's showing me something that reminds me of like a blanket or fabric stitched together. So there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging split or two ways. So there might be two of them, or this might have been made and then split into two. There's a reference to this because she's almost acknowledging that. She also keeps acknowledging Easter, so because I'm seeing Easter eggs. So there might be a reference to Easter. Either the timing is significant, or there's a Easter, like a bunny rabbit or an Easter basket that might be referenced to her or connected to her, because she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps acknowledging, thank you. She's showing me stones or crystals. I don't know if you collect stones or crystals that are connected to her, or if you have stones or crystals that you have that are dedicated to her, because she's making reference to that as well. She's also showing me the number, I want to say 12. So the 12th of a month might be significant, or December might be connected. Cassidy, I know you didn't ask me anything, but right now when I just saw your name, so yesterday when I was working in the yard, and I was like getting rid of weeds, and I was like weed eating the trail and everything. Well, not yesterday, I'm sorry, what was that? Was that yesterday? No, I finished it yesterday. I started it up a few days ago when I found the little boy praying, and then I finished it yesterday. Well, yesterday when I was finishing it up, we don't see ladybugs here. Like, we don't have, ladybugs are not a common thing here. But I was pulling weeds, and a ladybug just like flew out and like came out of nowhere. And I was like, oh my God, that's wonderful. And I don't have a special meaning for ladybugs, but it was nice to see that. But I didn't think anything of it. But now when I just saw your name, I just saw a ladybug in front of your name, and then they put a ladybug on your back. And I wanted to make sure, like almost as if you're having like a ladybug backpack. But they just showed me ladybug with you, and I don't know what that means. So either there's someone in spirit who is connecting themselves with you and they're acknowledging ladybug, or the symbol of the ladybug is significant, and to pay attention to this because this might be a sign or an affirmation for you. Okay? It's interesting because it literally was like I was putting on like a ladybug backpack, and I was like, why am I wearing a backpack as a ladybug? So France. Hi, Ferny. There is a guy who I still talk to. He is older, and I thought we would end up together, but he keeps saying he is not ready for a relationship. Will he ever be ready to be in one? No. Well, yes and no. I don't think he'll be in a relationship with you. I think that's his way of saying he doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. So I don't think that he's just saying, oh, I'm not ready. I think if if he met somebody that he really felt connection to, then I would say he would move forward with a relationship. I don't think he feels that level of connection with you. I think he just likes the interaction as is, and I don't think he wants to put more energy or effort into it. So I wouldn't take it too seriously, and I wouldn't waste your life waiting around for this fool just because you don't want to turn someone into something else that they're not in your head, and then you're latched onto that for a while and you're blocking out other opportunities with people who may actually want a relationship. So it's something to be aware of. But I don't think he'll change his mind about being in a relationship with you. So I would just like let it be what it is. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. People always want to take personally, like, I've been putting energy or time into this person and they just didn't give me, they didn't give me the relationship. And I'm going to tell you this, like when I was with my ex and my ex kept cheating on me, I made it about me. I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. Or, this proves that I'm worthless. No, it does not. It has nothing to do with you. People can just not people can meet people and like something with them, but may not want to actually spend their life with them or devote a lot to them. So don't let it become a personal, like, I'm going to use this to make myself feel crappy about myself, because that is not a good reason to do so. People can just meet people and want to have something with them, but not want to take it more seriously or personally. So don't let it go that. Don't let it become that in your head, because then that's not fair to you, and you're just punishing yourself at that point. So don't worry. Somebody else will come along. Actually, there's a Alfred or Alfie name that might come up in a couple of years. So keep an eye out for someone with that name. This girl, Violet. I have a friend named Holly that recently passed. Do I have any messages coming from her? Yeah, a couple of things. One is she keeps acknowledging she showed me, I feel like there's a collage or like a print that has 4 pictures. So she showed me this thing with four pictures or 4 things. So there's a reference there. She's also drawing, so there either is art attached to her, like cartoony or like graphic artistry, or someone may have made a piece of art or graphic design for her, because there's a reference there as well. She's drawing on my skin. There may also be a tattoo, so she's acknowledging that there might be at least 2 or 3, I would say 2 or 3 tattoos actually. She also keeps acknowledging the number 2 dates actually. The 17th, so the 17th of a month may be significant, or January 7th, and then the 5, which would be May, or the 5th of a month. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also, if you hear a whistle or a bell, just like a long whistle or bell in your ear, like the ringing, this might be her trying to get your attention, but you might also hear it out loud, and others might hear it as well, and that may also be a sign from her as well. So, because it almost reminds me of like a flute. Whenever someone's playing a flute and you have that sound, like that's what I'm hearing it is. It almost sounds very fluid like, or flute like is what I was trying to say. All right, here, let's go. Let's bring somebody on. Let's see if I'm ready for this. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, sweetheart. How
Hi.
you doing?
Getting yourself?
I'm good.
Can
I'm
you hear me?
good.
Okay,
What you want
that's
to ask me
great.
about?
So today's my grandma's birthday, and I just wanted to know, is she like here with us in spirit today, or if she has anything she wants to say?
First of all, she showed me roses. Sorry, I don't say rosa. She showed me roses, so she's acknowledging roses. So roses or red roses are going to be a significant sign from her. Do y'all actually have something that's made out of glass or something that's like ornamental that's got roses on it connected to her?
Ornamental, no, but she has a picture next to her with roses.
Okay, that's probably what she's referring to then. So she's acknowledging the being surrounded by. Okay, I get it now. So she might be acknowledging that. She also keeps acknowledging thank you. Is there a Tula or a Tuli or a Toli name or a nickname reference? I was gonna say Tutu, but then I started thinking of Tuli or Tula. So do you know if there's a Tutu, TT, Tula, or Tuli name or nickname reference?
I don't think so.
Remember that I said that it might be tied to an animal, but leave that with you because you might have to think about it.
Okay.
She also keeps acknowledging. Let you unfreeze for a second because you're frozen.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
I can hear you though.
All right. All right, cool. Okay. She's also acknowledging thank you. She showed me the number thank you, she showed me the number 2. Do you know that the month February is significant? Oh, all right. Totally froze. Okay, I'm gonna have to try you back. Okay, Lucero, I'm gonna try you back. Let's see. And do me a favor, if you're on Wi-Fi, get off of Wi-Fi. That might actually make the connection stronger and better. So I'm gonna look for you in just a few moments. Okay. Remember to request me again, and then I'll come looking for you. Hopefully, I remember to come looking for you, but we'll try that. Let me go somewhere else real quick, and then we can come back. Um, all right, that one isn't going through either. Let me go back to you. I'm coming back to you, okay? I'm coming back. Let's see. Let's try it again. There you are. Okay. All
Hi.
right. All right. What was the last thing I said? I totally forgot what I was saying.
You said the month of February.
Yes, yes, yes. Is there a connection to either the month of February or the second of a month?
Not that I know of.
Okay. There's a reference to two. So either it's the month of February or the second of a month because she's showing me that two as being significant. She also
Okay.
keeps acknowledging thank you. Do you have a Do you have a necklace that's connected to her? Or do you have a necklace that's connected to her?
I know my cousin has a heart locket of
Okay.
hers.
Okay. So she's acknowledging the necklace as being referenced, and then she's repeating it. And she says there's another thing as well. Is there another necklace also connected to her? It might even have like a stone color or like an emerald colored stone because I'm seeing a green emerald. So do you know there's a piece of jewelry that's got an emerald with it?
I'm not sure, but my mom's here with me. She doesn't think so
Oh,
either.
that's okay.
Yeah.
There's a piece of jewelry and it's got a green emerald or there's a green like stone to it because she's making reference to something else as well. So on top of the one necklace you're talking about, then there's the other one that I'm referencing also. Okay. She also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging. Do you know if her bones were hurting because she's talking about her bones and that she started feeling very achy in her body and it was as if everything was starting to hurt all at the same time.
Well, she did break her hip.
Okay, so she's acknowledging the bone hurting and making reference to that. Do you know there was also an infection or a blood infection that came from this, or that she
Um,
was having at the time as well?
I believe so, sort of, kind of. I believe she had MRSA at one point.
Okay, I don't know what that is. What is MRSA?
Isn't that like a blood infection? It's a blood infection.
Okay, got it. So she's acknowledging that as well. She also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging. Is there a picture of her with like a white hat around her head or like a white thing on her head? Because she's showing me a picture of her. It almost reminds me of like a sombrero, but like it's a big it's like a big hat that's like almost white. So it's either because of the sun or it's her with the white umbrella.
Not that I know of, but I'll keep note of that.
Okay, because she's showing me something this big white thing around her head, but it almost feels like either the big old sombrero that's a white hat of some sort, like a sun hat, or it's like an umbrella that she's got a white umbrella around her. But she's showing me something like this as well. She also keeps thank you. She also keeps acknowledging three. Are there three grandchildren for her?
For me, my sister, and my brother, there's three of us.
Okay, so she's just wanting to acknowledge all of you. So she's making reference to all three of you. She also keeps acknowledging thank you. Your mom doesn't need. No, she's not upset with your mom. So to tell your mom that she's not upset with her, or that she doesn't feel bad, she says stop with that. So she's like acknowledging that to make sure that she understands that. She says I love her to tell her stop being silly. So she's to tell her that. Does your mom still have the prayer card or the little card with the Santito prayer?
She's thinking.
It might even have like an angel, so it might be like a guardian angel on the picture.
I mean, the only one that we used to have was just from like her funeral services, and it was like a long one. And I had like an angel and a picture of her.
Got it. Do you all still have this, or does your mom have this?
Yeah, somewhere around the house we do.
So she's just acknowledging that. She also thank you. She's kind of funny, your grandma. Is she a little loopy sometimes, like almost like blonde? Let's call it like was she like a little bit blonde? Like sometimes she'd get a little loopy, or she just would a little like confuse herself.
Yeah, she had dementia, so she'd make.
Oh, that would be the reason. Okay, got it. So that would make sense to me. Okay, that may be
Yeah.
where she's going with that. She's also she keeps going back to Rose. She's bringing up the character Rose from Golden Girls, but I keep thinking of the name Rose as well. Is there also a Rosie or a Rose name reference?
Yes, that's her daughter, my
Okay,
tia.
to let her know, to let the daughter know that she's okay also, and also she did come to her in her dreams, so she might have had dreams of her, and to affirm that for her.
Sounds good.
All right, sweetheart. Well, y'all take care of yourselves, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Mama. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, let's see. Going. Uh, let's see. Hello.
Hey, Ferny.
Hey, girl. Oh, you're like you're like totally ready to make this happen.
I am. I'm sorry. I'm at
You're
work.
fine. You're fine. What do you want to ask about, Mama?
I just wanted to ask any messages from my mom or dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with mom. Let me go to mom real quick. She's
Okay.
acknowledging a birthday or a celebratory event. Are we within 30 days of a birthday?
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Yeah, she's acknowledging a birthday, and I almost feel like she's talking about it right now. Are we within 30 days of a birthday right now?
Yes,
Okay,
mine. Me and my
got it.
sisters.
Oh, perfect. She's acknowledging your birthday, so she's wishing y'all a happy birthday. She also
Okay.
keeps talking about the picture of both of y'all, and I feel like both of y'all are standing on something high, and then one of the parents is in the middle. Do you know about that picture where both of you, and y'all would have been smaller, so y'all would have been like standing on something, and it was like high, way higher up, and then the parents like right there.
Mhm. Um, Not that I can think of off the
It's
top
like
of
a,
my
it's like
head.
a the edge of a pier, or like it's like a, it almost feels like cement. There's like two of you standing on cement, or the top
Hmm.
of a cement, and then the parents right in front, and y'all are right next to them.
I have to look and
Okay,
see.
that's
I'm
okay.
not for
I'll
sure.
leave that with you. You might have to think about it.
Okay.
Your mama also makes me feel. Thank you. Do you have earrings that belong to her?
Um, Earrings.
Mm-hmm. It
I don't
looks
think
like a
I.
flower shape. So it's got like a. It's either this is like a. It almost reminds me of like a sunflower, but there's like a flower shaped earrings or something that's like it's either an earring or a pendant that's a flower shape, but it's like that shape.
Painting. I think maybe a painting.
Not painting, like a pendant, like a pendant, like it's
Oh,
like
a
a,
pendant.
yeah, it's like a, it looks like it's either ruby or a reddish color, and it's like a flower shape. That's how it looks like.
My great grandmother may have.
Okay, because it
She
almost
kept
looks like,
that.
again, it looks like either an earring or it's like a pendant or a brooch, but it's like that. So it comes around like that. She
Okay.
also keeps acknowledging, thank you. It's funny, Benihana. Benihana. Um, do you know if she like hibachi or if there's a hibachi story?
Um, Not that I, well, no, but my grandmother has been trying to go to Hibachi Grill for the longest, but since COVID, we haven't been able to go.
Ask your grandmother about your mom and if she ever told her anything about a hibachi grill.
Okay.
Just because she's doing it, and I feel like I don't think this is future. I feel like she's acknowledging something that they may have talked about or something that they mentioned to each other about going to a
Okay.
hibachi grill. Um,
Okay.
okay, this is a weird sign. If you find a white hamster or a mouse, this is
Mhm.
a sign from them, which is a weird sign
Okay.
because that's not a common thing.
Mhm.
So to be on the lookout for a white mouse or for like a white hamster.
Okay.
Okay, I know it's like really weird. I was like, what is that? So it's like a white mouse or a white hamster because I'm seeing something like that. Um, that's not it. Did one of you have a white mouse or a white hamster?
Um, Not a mouse or well, I don't think it was white. My little brother had a gerbil for a little bit, but I don't think it was white.
She's showing me I had a white rat when I was
Mhm.
younger. Her name was Sabrina, and I loved her. But she's showing me my white rat. So I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this. So either one of y'all had a white mouse or hamster, she's letting y'all know the white thing is there, or just look out for this because she's making reference to the white thing, which is the weirdest sign that I can get. But she's just
Okay.
acknowledging that, okay?
Okay.
Do you have a bracelet that is also connected to, I'm sorry, yeah. Do you have a bracelet that's connected to mom as well, or a thing that goes around the wrist is connected to mama?
Um, no, I don't have a bracelet.
Okay, she showed me something wrapped around the wrist. So there's something that goes around the wrist that she's connecting herself to. And it's interesting because it clasps or it locks in place. So
I
it's
have
like,
a charm bracelet.
do you have
I,
anything on there that's connected to mama?
but not necessarily connected to her.
Do you have anything on there reminds you of her, that's referencing her?
No, I have a necklace that my great grandmother gave me a ring when I was little. I can't fit it anymore, but I wear it around my neck. But that was from my great grandmother, not my
Mm-mm.
mom.
This is no. This is like a bracelet that it's like it doesn't even feel like a charm bracelet. It feels like a solid bracelet that opens and then it locks in place. I don't even think
Okay.
this is a watch. It feels like it's a bracelet that locks into place and then the two
Mhm.
parts come together on top because she's showing me something like this. So look out for
Okay.
that or ask your sister because she might know what she's talking about because she's making
Okay.
references. She also says that she came to you in a dream, but you might have thought she was someone else. Have you been seeing another person come to you in a dream, like another woman come to you in a dream?
Um,
You can't see her fully, but you know it's a female in the dream.
Not that I can think of. I've been having so many like vivid dreams
It was in
lately.
a classroom, or it almost felt like a teacher in a classroom.
Hmm. Not that I can think of off the top of my
She's
head.
acknowledged that's okay. She's acknowledging a dream about
Okay.
it, and you may have thought it was a teacher in a classroom, or you were in a classroom with this dream. And there's something
Okay.
about you. It was actually her, but you didn't either recognize her or you thought that in the dream she was somebody else. But it's almost like
Okay.
she's acknowledging, teaching you some things about yourself. Because what you're going through right now or what you're experiencing, she also went through. So she can relate to you. So she's trying to help you understand what your journey is with the family versus what she went through as well. So she's almost trying to like help you get through a period in your life.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. Your dad, do you have a cap or hat that is connected to him?
No, I have shirts, but not a cap
There's
or
a
a hat.
cap or hat that he's making reference to. So either there's a baseball cap or there's a
Hmm.
hat that is. It almost reminds me of a fedora, but it feels like it's a cap of some sort because he's making reference to a hat or a cap. He might even be wearing it in a picture, and it's a bluish color. That's what it looks like to me. So it's like a bluish colored hat, and then it almost feels like he's wearing this in the picture, and he's this hat. So they may
Okay.
still exist to make reference to that. He also keeps it. Thank you. D- do you know if the name Dougie or Douglas or Doogie is connected to Dad?
Not that I can think of. It doesn't.
Doogie, Douglas, almost reminds me of like a company. Um, Donnie, there's like a Doogie, Douglas, D-O male name that he's making reference. So he's acknowledging this male name. It's either a
Okay.
company that he may have worked at. He may even be wearing a shirt that's got this name on it, or there's a name
Okay.
reference to someone that he wants to acknowledge or make reference to. Um, where's he going with this? He's talking about a transplant or an implant. Um, Let me push them to the side for a second.
Okay.
I'm seeing a person. I don't know if this is someone that is related to you or this is someone that's connected to you. They're acknowledging a transplant or a replacement. They're talking about the kidney failure. So there would have been kidney failure with this person. There would have been a need for a transplant. This is a female. There's a female tied to this piece of information. So there's a female coming forward. She either needed a new kidney or something was going on. Her kidneys were failing. So she's acknowledging this. She also makes me feel like she was having issues with other things, and I think diabetes might have been one of them. But this came on, there was an infection, and it took over, and it kind of ravaged her body, and she just couldn't make it. Do you know of a female connected to the family that matches up to that?
It could be my cousin, Shantae.
Did her kidneys give her issues?
Well, she actually had breast cancer. but it kind of started spreading through her body.
This is not it. This is
Okay.
that's okay. I'm gonna leave that with you.
Okay.
A female. Something went wrong with the kidneys. The kidneys failed, or something went bad with these kidneys. And then
Okay.
they also had an infection that spread as well. But this
Okay.
is like
That sounds like
this.
my mom. She had kidney failure and then she had an infection that went into her blood.
Then this is mom. So
Okay.
why is she bouncing around? Because I separated that in my head as if it was another person. So I was trying to figure out why I'm seeing that into like as if it's a separate person. Um, I guess I just misinterpreted. So let's assume that's mom because they're not making any difference to me. So let's
Okay.
assume that's mom. Dad, he is acknowledging his chest hurting and also hard to catch his breath. Do you know if he
Hmm.
was having some difficulty catching his breath or being able to breathe?
He was shot and killed. So
Was he shot in the chest?
I believe so.
Okay. Do you also know if he was shot at like point blank range?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you also know if he knew the person that did this?
I wouldn't be surprised if he
Okay,
did.
because he makes me feel like he knew the person that did this. He also keeps acknowledging. Was this around a holiday event, like around Christmas or around the holidays?
This is around his birthday.
Okay, because he's acknowledging this being around a holiday event or an event. So I'll leave it at that there. Do you have a picture of your dad on the back of a truck or sitting on a vehicle?
Um, Not on the back of a truck, but I have a picture of him with a truck behind him.
Okay, so it's just him with the truck. That's okay. It's funny he's on with the back of the truck. Were y'all in the back of the truck in this picture?
Um, I don't know if he took pictures, but he was a truck driver, so he would pick us up and we would ride in the back of the truck
Okay,
with him.
so truck driver. So when you say truck driver, do you mean like 18-wheeler?
Hmm.
Okay. Douglas is a company that he worked for or he did
Okay.
something with. If you look at
Okay.
those pictures, remember what I was saying about Dougie or Doogie?
Hmm.
There's an airline. It almost feels like it's an airline thing or it's a parts thing, but there's a Douglas or something that's connected to his company or his old. And there's an old picture of him doing with this thing. So
Okay.
look at that because I feel like he's acknowledging that that's somehow going to fit together, and that may be where all those pieces are going to tie in.
Okay.
He said he's proud of you, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. All right, baby. You take care of
Thank
yourself,
you.
mama. You're welcome. Stay
Okay.
safe.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's see. Going over here. Hmm. Let's go. Bye. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sweetheart. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Awesome. What do you want to ask me about?
My dad. I've been trying to see if I had a message from
First of
him.
all, he's acknowledging 3 babies. Do you know if 3 babies that were miscarried, lost, or terminated?
Say that again.
Yeah, he's acknowledging 3 babies. Do you know if there are 3 babies miscarried, lost, or terminated?
I lost one and I had
Oh.
oh no, my internet.
I lost you. I lost
Yeah.
you for a second. Yeah, he said you said you lost one. And what was the other 2?
And I had 2 abortions.
Got it. He's acknowledging the babies and the soul, so he's just making reference to this. He also keeps thank you. He also keeps acknowledging his tattoo. Do you know there's a tattoo connected to you, Dad?
No, I don't have a
He's showing me
tattoo
a tattoo,
connected
so
to him.
somebody got a tattoo of him because he's acknowledging something, and I almost feel like I'm seeing my leg. So he's acknowledging a leg tattoo. You know,
I do have a leg tattoo, but it's not representing on
well, he
him.
showed me a leg tattoo. Do you know there's a male with a leg tattoo connected to him? Okay, the
No,
way
I
he's showing it
don't.
to me, it's like if someone had family members and they put the family members' names, but it's almost like when they're alive. So like when I'm like, oh, I have children, and my kids' names are tattooed on my leg. He's showing me leg tattoo. Do you know if he had any tattoos on his legs? Okay.
No.
Remember that I said that because I keep seeing tattoo and a leg, and I keep seeing with that, and I feel like there's a
Okay.
name tied to this. So
Okay.
is there an Amber connection to you, or Ambry, or Ambry?
I have a friend
Okay.
named Amber.
When you get a chance to talk to her, ask her about this leg tattoo because there's someone there who's got a leg tattoo tied to her, or there's a tattoo in the leg that's representative of someone for her. So I want to make sure I pass that on. Okay. So let's
Okay.
assume that's for her and not for you with your dad. Okay. Your dad is acknowledging.
Okay.
Your dad is acknowledging. Was there a funny thing about having big hands or strong hands with your dad? Because he's almost making this thing about having big hands or strong hands.
He has
Okay.
big
Do you know if he
hands.
used to use those things that would like pump the muscle in the hands, or there was like a muscle thing that he used to do with his hand? He's doing something like
No.
this. Did your dad ever box? Do you know if he was ever into boxing when he was a kid?
No, he
Who is
never
this?
bought.
This has got to
No.
be this has got to be somebody because they're acknowledging this, doing this. They're acknowledging this leg tattoo. They're acknowledging this like boxing thing. So there's a reference for like this boxing or someone who used to actually like box and do this thing. So he's making reference to that. So if this is not your father, this has to be for this ombre person or the friend person because this is all tied in together. It's too specific. They're also your dad did not die in a vehicle accident, correct? Okay, this has got to be somebody else.
No.
So here's what I'm going to say. The person that I'm talking to, they had an automobile incident or an accident with an automobile. They did boxing or they did this thing. They like to mess it. And then there was something like a tattoo on the leg. So they're referencing that. So when you tell your friend to tell her those specific details, because hopefully she will figure that out and understand who that's from. Okay? Let me see if I can get your dad on the line.
Okay.
The person that I'm talking to is specifically talking about these other events. Thank you. You're just doing this. Do you know if your dad wasn't sharing everything that was going on with him, or he wasn't telling everybody what was happening with him? And he was trying to put things back?
No, we pretty much knew what
Did
was
he have
going
cancer?
on. No, he didn't have cancer. He had a heart
That's not it.
condition.
This is somebody else again. Is there Jackie? Is there a Jackie Jason name reference?
Is there a
Jackie
Jackie?
Jackson or Jason reference?
Jason, I know a Jason and a Jackie.
Both of them are still alive though, right? Okay.
Yes.
Is Jackie a female?
Yes.
Do you know if Jackie's mother, some other figure, if Jackie's mother figure passed from cancer? Okay. Do you know
Yes.
we're coming upon the anniversary right now, or we're within like a month or a month?
Yes, it was like a month
So
ago.
tell her that
It was
the
like a month
person
ago.
is wanting to say hello to them, so they're acknowledging. Your dad is like letting everybody come through. I'm like, what's going on? Why is he doing that? I'm like, you talking about this? She's like, bringing up this other person. I'm like, I need to talk to you. I'm pretty sure your dad's there. I think he's just being a nice guy, or he's trying to let everybody come through. Do you know? Thank you. Do you know your dad was a little disconnected from his own family, or he was not with his family?
Yeah. From
Because
his
he's
daughters,
acknowledging a
yeah.
disconnect with
From
his own
me.
family, and he's acknowledging that he's at peace with this now.
Yeah.
He's come to peace with all this, so he's making reference to this. Did he
Mhm.
not? Was he and your mom back and forth, or were they not together? Okay,
They wasn't
but she's still
together.
alive, right? Your mama? He wants to apologize
Yes.
to her, so he wants
She's
to
still
acknowledge her, but also apologize to her. But your mom can be kind of crazy, so he's almost like acknowledging like he had reasons, but he still wants to apologize to her because she just might need that, so he wants to give that to her as well. Can you show me the number 5? Do you know there's a connection to the month of May or the 5th of the month? He's showing me
No.
a date of significance. So either there's a birthday or there's a child that was born on in May or the 5th of the month, because he's acknowledging that 5 is being significant. And I'm asking him to clarify that. He says yes. So I'm going to leave that with you because you're going to have to remember that and figure that out. But he's acknowledging a child being born or a baby being connected to the 5th of a month. He also keeps acknowledging a picture with him. And in this picture, was your dad a smoker? Okay. Do you have a picture of him smoking or like just like, and he might have been younger, but he was having a good time.
I don't think he was smoking, but I do have a picture of him having a
Well,
good
there's a
time.
picture of him, and he's showing me a picture, and there's smoke, and so I'm assuming he's smoking in the picture, but he's referencing the smoking in the picture. Sometimes when y'all smell smoke, that's a sign from him, so that y'all know that that's coming from him. So y'all may smell that from right in front of me. He set off y'all's alarms, so he's acknowledging setting off the alarms. So if they just start going off on their own, that's a sign from him as well, because he's making reference to that also. He's doing this as well, which means wasn't able to communicate. Was he not able to speak at the end? Okay,
No,
he's
he
closing
was.
his mouth. He's doing this thing. Now there's something more to it than I'm catching. Are y'all sure he was telling y'all everything that he was experiencing or feeling?
As far as
Here's
I
what I'm
know,
gonna
he
say. He's
was.
doing the symbol for this. Whenever I see that symbol, it's I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. We didn't get a chance to say goodbye, or
True.
he didn't say some things that were happening or that he was going through. So it's one or the other. So I'm gonna leave that with you, but he's making reference because he's closing his mouth for me. He also keeps making reference to, do you have a necklace connected to Dad? Okay, he's showing me a
No.
necklace. It almost reminds me of like a little. It's for the ocean. It's for like a sea vessel, so it's like a. It's what is it? The skipper. You know what I'm talking about, right? The nautical. Like it's a nautical necklace that he's making reference to. There's a necklace that's connected to Dad. I know you're saying no, but I'm telling you yes, girl. There is a necklace connected to Dad that has a nautical association to it. It's either a necklace or it's something on a rope that has a nautical or has a ocean thing connected to Dad, because he's making reference to something like that. So you might need to ask about that because he's showing me something like that. He also says he felt someone pinching his toe or grabbing onto his toes. So if y'all were trying to like let him know y'all were there or let him know that y'all were around him, he remembers being pinched in his toes or someone touching his toes like that. He's acknowledging that as well. He also heard the music. Do y'all remember playing music for him? Okay,
no, we didn't.
He's showing me music. Someone was listening. They were on their phone listening to music. He's fake laughing about it. So someone was literally with where he was. They had their phone and they were listening to music while they were on the phone. There were 3 people in the room with him when this happened. Because he says there were 3 people. There was someone on their phone and there was music playing.
Not when he passed
It
away.
may not have been in the moment he passed away, but right at that time, he's talking about 3 people in the room with him. Someone was on their phone and they were doing it and they were playing music. It may not have been for him, but he's listening to the music because he's letting me hear the music. So, and it would have been something that's new because I don't know the music either, but it's something that's new. But it's the knowledge and like the playing of the music. So there's a reference to that. Okay.
Okay.
His dad, your grandpa's also passed, right? Yeah. Did he have the mustache, the grandpa? Okay.
I never knew him.
He's got a man with him
I don't know.
who's acknowledging Dad, and he's showing me like a mustache or facial hair because he's showing me this man with a mustache. So if you look at old pictures, if you ask, he's just trying to acknowledge who he's with.
Of his dad or my mom?
The man, he's calling the man Dad. I'm assuming it's his, but he's calling the man Dad, and he's got a mustache. So he's making reference to being with this man. Okay.
Okay.
He just said, "I love y'all." He just said, "I love you." So he's okay. He's with y'all. Go back and ask your mom about the other things, because I'm telling you, she's gonna be like, "Okay, well I know." So you have to go ask her. But he's okay, sweetheart. Okay? Pass on the messages to these other people so that they get the message. Okay.
I will.
Baby, you take care of yourself. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I think I'm out of time. Yeah, I'm out. All right, guys. I love you all. I will be back next Wednesday, same time, same place. I'll see y'all then. Okay. Bye, everybody.